Hello and welcome to my combinatorics video series. In this video I want to talk about probability. It's real simple. By definition, all it is the number of favorable cases over all possible cases of an experiment, which for example, like that would be like choosing a number. I'll say choosing a number between 1 and 5. So an experiment produces a set of elementary events. So that would be like choosing the number itself, and then the sample space is the set of all elementary events. So for example, if we were doing choosing a number between 1 and 5, the sample space would be equal to, so 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 5. And then that's written as a set. And then a compound event is a subset of several elementary events. So for example, if we were to pick a number between 1 and 5 twice, a compound event would be like the probability of getting a 2 and then a 5. Just to go through how this is written out, if you wanted to do like the probability of, we'll say our event is equal to, we'll write it as E, is equal to picking out a 1. So we do P of E is equal to, and then we're just doing the number of favorable cases over all possible cases. So our favorable case is 1, and then we have 5 all possible cases, so that would just be 1/5. Okay, so for another example, I guess we could do rolling dice. We'll do rolling a dice twice. So for that, our sample set, so that would be S equals, and like this one we can just write it out, but I mean, when you roll a dice twice, that's 6 times 6 possible events, so we're gonna write it out as the sample space as, so we'll do dice 1 and then dice 2, so we have 2 dice, and then so D1 would be between 1 and 6 inclusive, so we'll just write it out like this, so up to 6. And then we would also have D2, that's also 1 and 6, between 1 and 6 inclusive, so 1, 2, and then 6, okay? And then that would end our set. Something you should probably know is when you're trying to find the number of sets, which you often will because you need to know it for predicting the probability, one way to find that is you take the possibilities for each object. In here it's dice, so we have 6 possible events for each dice, and then you just raise it to the power of how many of those objects you have. So here we just have 2. So in this example, it'll be, we have 6 possible events for each object, and then we have 2 objects, so that would just be 6 squared. And then, so we have 36 possibilities. If we had 3 dice, it would just be 6 to the 3rd. Let's say we wanted to find the probability of, we'll say probability E, and we'll make E equal to D1 plus D2 as, let's say that equals 5. So probably shouldn't make that equal. Anyway, so our event is that D1, when you add the first die and the second die, you get 5. So our sample of this would be, so let's actually just write S equals, and this isn't the entire, yeah, let me not do that. We'll just call it Q, or E, yeah. So our set E would be equal to all the possibilities that get it 5. So we have 2 die, so we're gonna do parentheses, kind of like you would write coordinates out. So one way would be 1 and then rolling a 4, and then 2, and then rolling a 3, and then 3 and 2, and then 4 and 1. So that's all our possibilities for getting D1 plus D2 equals 5. And then if we wanted to calculate the probability of that, of E, remember all we're doing is dividing the number of events, which in this case is 4, divided by all the possible values, which is 36. Okay, so that's probability.